You didn't quit because it was too hard. You quit because no one was watching. That's the real answer. That's the truth you've been running from. When the room was empty, when no camera was rolling, when no one was going to clap for you, you stopped. You told yourself you'd try again tomorrow. You told yourself you needed rest. You told yourself the timing wasn't right. The conditions weren't perfect. The moment wasn't yours. But the moment was always yours. You just gave it away. Right now, somewhere in the world, someone with less talent than you is working harder than you. Someone who had fewer opportunities than you has already built what you only dream about. And they're not smarter. They're not chosen. They're not blessed with something you were denied. The only difference, the only real difference, is that they did one more rep when everything inside them screamed to stop. That's what this is about. One rep. One more push when your hands are shaking. One more page when your eyes are burning. One more hour when the comfort of giving up feels like mercy. That single act, that one more, is the entire gap between the version of you that exists right now and the version you actually came here to become. Think about your life honestly for 1 second. Not the version you perform for other people. Not the highlight reel you post. Not the ambitions you announce. Not the person you pretend to be when someone asks how things are going. The real version. The private one. The one that wakes up at 3 a.m. and knows something is being wasted. Because you feel it, don't you? That low hum of guilt. That quiet, persistent knowing that you are capable of so much more than what you've been producing. You feel it when you scroll for an hour and hate yourself after. You feel it when you skip the work session because you're not feeling it. You feel it every time you lay down at the end of a day and count how many hours you handed over to nothing. That feeling isn't weakness. That feeling is information. That feeling is your real self, knocking from inside a door you've been too comfortable to open. The reason most people fail isn't what they think it is. They blame the environment. They blame the economy. They blame their upbringing, their past, the people who didn't support them, the breaks that never came. And some of that is real. Life is genuinely unfair. The playing field is not level. Pain is not evenly distributed. But none of that is why they fail. They fail because they've made peace with almost. Almost trained today. Almost sent that email. Almost started that project. Almost woke up early. Almost stayed consistent. That word almost is the most dangerous word in your vocabulary because it comes with the feeling of effort without the reality of it. It lets you sleep at night while your potential bleeds out on the floor. Comfort is not your friend. And I'm not saying that in the way motivational posters say it. I mean it the way a surgeon means it, when they tell you that leaving something inside will eventually kill you. Your comfort zone is not a safe place. It is a slow death, dressed in familiar clothes. Every single day you spend inside it, you're not maintaining, you're declining. The person you could be is moving further away from you, not closer. And you are standing still, convincing yourself that stillness is rest. It's not rest. Rest is intentional. Rest is strategic. What most people do isn't rest, it's avoidance wearing rest's name tag. Here is something no one tells you about people who seem unmotivated, unfocused, unable to commit. The problem is almost never laziness, not at the core, because the same person who can't get themselves to study for 1 hour will stay up until 2 and finishing a show they've already seen. The same person who can't commit to a morning routine will spend 3 hours planning one they'll never follow. The same person who says they have no energy for their goals has infinite energy for anything that doesn't cost them growth. That's not laziness. That's misdirection. That's a mind that hasn't been broken in the right direction yet. You are not broken, but you are unfocused. And there's a massive difference, because broken requires rescue, but unfocused only requires a decision. A single, uncompromising decision. Not a plan with 47 steps. Not a system you download from someone else's morning routine. A decision about who you are going to be, starting from the moment this ends, with no more negotiation. The negotiation is the problem. Every morning you wake up and your mind opens a negotiation. Should I do it today or tomorrow? Should I start now or after I eat? Should I push hard or ease into it? And every time you negotiate, comfort wins. Because comfort doesn't negotiate, it just waits. It knows that the longer you think, the weaker your resolve. It knows that intention without immediate action decays within minutes. The people who build extraordinary lives don't have extraordinary motivation. They've closed the negotiation. They don't ask themselves if they feel like doing it. They've already decided who they are. And that person does the work regardless of mood, weather, circumstances, or how loud the voice in their head is telling them to wait. Your small daily decisions are not small. That's the deception. A skipped workout feels insignificant. A wasted afternoon feels forgettable. A habit broken just once feels recoverable. But these things compound in the dark, in the same way that discipline compounds in the dark. The person who wastes 2 hours today and 2 hours tomorrow isn't just losing 4 hours, they're building the identity of someone who wastes hours. And identity once built becomes automatic. You are building yourself right now. Not when you start, not after things calm down. Right now, in how you respond to difficulty, in how you treat the hours no one sees, in how many reps you do when no one is counting. So let's talk about what one more rep actually means. Forget the gym for a second, though the gym is where this idea lives most visibly. In the gym, you can watch the moment when someone decides. You can see it in their face, in the way their body locks under the weight, in how their breath changes. There is a moment, always a moment, where the body says stop, and the person has to decide what they actually are. That decision right there, in that second, is character. Not the weight lifted, not the sweat produced. The decision to continue when continuing is irrational. That moment exists in every domain of life. It exists in the student who reads one more page after their brain goes foggy. It exists in the entrepreneur who sends one more pitch after 17 rejections. It exists in the father who gives patient presence to his child after a 12-hour shift. It exists in the artist who refines one more time when good enough is already achieved. It exists in the mind that chooses to redirect itself away from a spiral and back towards something constructive, even when the spiral feels earned. One more rep is not a gym philosophy. It is an operating system for becoming. It works because of what happens at the limit. Think about what the limit actually is. When you reach the point of wanting to quit genuinely, viscerally wanting to stop, that's not the end of your capacity. That's the beginning of your real capacity. Everything before the limit is just rehearsal. The reps that count, the ones that physically, neurologically, psychologically change you, are the ones you do after your mind already said no. This is not metaphor. The science of adaptation, whether muscular, mental, or habitual, operates on overload. You do not grow inside your comfort zone. You maintain there. Growth only begins when you push past what you thought was your edge. And most people never find out where their edge actually is, because they stop at the feeling of the edge, which appears miles before the real one. You have been stopping at the feeling. The feeling is lying to you. There is a version of your life, a real, specific, tangible version, where you did the work, where you didn't negotiate, where every time comfort knocked, you nodded at it and kept moving. Can you picture what that person looks like right now? Not a fantasy version, a realistic one, based on the talent and opportunity you actually have. What does that person's body look like? What does their work look like? What does their mind feel like at the end of a day they fully owned? That gap between where you are and where that person is, that entire gap, is made of skipped reps. Nothing more, nothing less. Not bad luck, not lack of intelligence, not someone else's fault. Skipped reps. The accumulation of moments when the choice was there, and you chose the exit. Now think about what a training arc actually looks like, not in a story in real life. Because people romanticize the training arc as something that happens in a montage, fast cuts, dramatic music, visible progress in 40 seconds of screen time. But a real training arc is ugly. It is weeks of showing up to something that is not working yet. It is progress so slow you question whether it's happening at all. It is the experience of doing everything right and feeling nothing change, and doing it again the next day and the next, because you understand something that most people around you don't. You understand that results are always delayed from effort. Always. The gap between what you put in and what you receive is where most people lose faith and quit, because they expect a transaction. I work hard, I see results. But transformation doesn't work like a transaction. It works like a seed. You plant it, you water it, you see nothing above the surface for what feels like too long. And then suddenly, not gradually, suddenly something breaks through. And once it breaks through, it grows in a way that looks effortless to everyone who didn't watch you water the dirt every day. You are in the dirt phase right now. Some of you reading this have been watering something for months and have seen nothing yet. And everything in your environment is telling you to stop, to pivot, to try something else, to accept that maybe this isn't for you. But the dirt phase is not evidence of failure. It is evidence that you're still in the process. The only people who never get through the dirt phase are the ones who dig up the seed to check if it's growing. Stop checking. Keep watering. Here is the dark truth that no one in your life is going to say to your face. Most people around you are not succeeding. And because they're not succeeding, your mediocrity feels normal inside that environment. It doesn't trigger alarm because everyone around you is moving at the same pace, and that pace is slow enough to guarantee that 10 years from now, they will be in almost exactly the same position they're in today, with a different excuse and the same unfulfilled potential. Your environment is calibrating you, constantly, without your permission. The conversations you have, the people you spend the most hours with, the content you consume, all of it, is setting a thermostat inside you. And if that thermostat is set to average, then anything above average will feel uncomfortable, arrogant, unnecessary. People around you will call you obsessed when you stay late. They'll call you rigid when you protect your routine. They'll tell you to relax when your urgency makes them uncomfortable with their own stillness. They are not your enemy, but their ceiling cannot become your ceiling. Comfort is not the problem because it feels bad. Comfort is the problem because it feels good. That's the trap. Misery would be easier to escape than comfort because misery creates urgency. But comfort is warm. Comfort is familiar. Comfort tells you that what you have is enough, that wanting more is ungrateful, that the risk of trying isn't worth the guaranteed ease of not trying. And slowly, without a dramatic moment you can point to, comfort takes everything. Not in a theft, in an erosion. You wake up one day and realize that the fire you used to feel has become an ember. And then you realize the ember has been out for a long time, and you can't remember exactly when it went out, only that it did. That's what really terrifies people. Not failure, not pain, the quiet extinction of their own hunger. The people who separate themselves from the average, and I mean genuinely separate, not just outperform slightly, but become a different category of person. They all have one thing in common that isn't talent and isn't opportunity. It's relationship to discomfort. They have trained themselves through repetition to associate discomfort with progress instead of danger. When something is hard, they lean into it. When something is uncomfortable, that discomfort becomes a signal that they're in the right place. When resistance appears, it doesn't make them retreat, it confirms they're pushing against something real. That rewiring doesn't happen from a single moment of inspiration. It happens from accumulated reps done in the dark, with no applause, with no immediate reward, when every rational voice said this isn't necessary. It becomes necessary because you decide it is. That's all. You decide. Now picture this. Someone wakes up, and for the first time they don't negotiate with themselves. They don't wait to feel ready. They move before the resistance has a chance to speak. They do the work at the quality level the work deserves. They protect the hours that belong to their growth. They show up to the thing they've been avoiding, and they sit inside the discomfort of it instead of escaping, and they stay until something shifts. They end the day having done what they said they would do, which means they have kept a promise to themselves, and that promise, not the output, not the result. That promise is the thing that starts to change them. Because what changes a person is not achievement. Achievement is the external record. What changes a person is integrity with themselves. The slow accumulation of instances where they said they would do something and then did it. Where they set a standard and held it when no one was watching. Where they could have quit and didn't, not because it was easy, but because quitting would have cost them something more important than comfort, their identity. Once that shift begins, it feeds itself. The person who did the work today has more authority over themselves tomorrow. The person who kept the promise builds a self-concept that makes breaking the next promise feel foreign, wrong, out of character. And slowly, what used to require enormous willpower becomes automatic, because it's no longer a choice between two equal options. It's a choice between action and betraying who you now know yourself to be. That is the transformation. Not a dramatic single moment. A slow, compound, invisible accumulation of reps, done right, until one day you look at the person you were a year ago and realize they are a stranger. Until the person who used to negotiate with themselves doesn't exist anymore. Until the version of you that people around you meet is the one you used to only imagine late at night. That version of you is not a fantasy. It is a mathematical certainty if you do enough reps. But you have to do the reps. Here is where you are right now. You are at the edge. Maybe you've been at this edge before and stepped back. Maybe you've had this feeling, this exact, electric, urgent feeling, and let it expire without action. If that's true, then you know what that costs. You know the specific weight of an inspired moment wasted, how heavy it sits on you for days after, the particular kind of shame that comes not from failure, but from not even trying. You are at the edge again. And the only question that matters, starting right now, is whether you are going to be the person who steps back or the person who steps forward. Because stepping forward doesn't require perfect conditions. It doesn't require a sign. It doesn't require you to feel ready. Because feeling ready is a luxury that people who change their lives almost never get. They act before they're ready, and they become ready through the action. Readiness is not a prerequisite, it's a consequence. So what is the one rep in front of you right now? Not the plan, not the vision board, not the version of yourself 6 months from now, the single next rep. The next thing that moves you forward, that you have been avoiding, that you know you should do. It exists. You know exactly what it is. Your mind went to it the moment I asked. The book you haven't opened, the project you've been circling, the habit you've started and stopped 4 times, the conversation you've been delaying, the work session you keep scheduling and postponing. Whatever it is that is your rep. And this moment, right now, is the moment you decide what kind of person you are. Not forever. You don't have to commit to forever. Just this rep. Just this one decision. Do the thing when it's hard. Stay when everything says go. Push past the point where the old version of you would have stopped. Because that point, that exact point, is where the new version of you is forged. The greats are not people who never wanted to quit. They are people who wanted to quit and did one more rep anyway. Every single time. Over years. Over decades. In empty rooms. In failed attempts. In seasons of no results. In the middle of exhaustion and doubt. And the complete absence of any guarantee that it would pay off. They did one more rep. And the weight of that one more rep, accumulated across thousands of days, became the architecture of something the world eventually had no choice but to notice. No one is coming to hand you the life you should have. No one is going to rescue the potential that you are wasting. The world is not organized around your potential, it is organized around your output. And your output is a direct reflection of the standard you hold yourself to when no one is watching. When it's not convenient, when the easier option is right there and feels perfectly justified. This is the moment. Not a future moment. This one. The one you're standing inside right now. Every rep from here is a vote. A vote for the version of you that actually becomes the person you talk about becoming. And the vote doesn't require passion. It doesn't require confidence. It only requires the decision to do it anyway. So go. Not tomorrow. Not after one more video. Not once the conditions feel right. Now, do the rep. And when you want to stop, and you will want to stop, remember this feeling. Remember this moment. Remember that somewhere in you is a version of yourself that has been waiting for you to finally stop negotiating and start building. One more rep. That's all this is. One more rep.